If you're trying to build an online business right now, AI has changed what is possible. And not just for tech people. There are 7 specific business models that work in 2026 that regular people are building without writing any code and without needing a big audience to start. I put all 7 in this video, so let's get into it. Idea number 7 is one of the easiest to start and also one of the fastest to get your first paying client. You build a simple AI assistant that lives on a local business website or even in their WhatsApp, and it handles the conversations that they are too busy to have. Things like answering common questions, explaining services and pricing, capturing lead information when someone reaches out to them. You could ask me, well, why would local businesses actually care about this? When a potential customer sends a message at 9 p.m. and nobody replies, they just move on. They go to the next business on Google. That is a lost sale, and the business owner probably doesn't even know what happened. Your job is to set up a system that responds immediately, asks the right questions, and captures that lead before anyone else does. You're not building anything complicated. Tools like VoiceFlow or BotPress make this possible with no code at all. What takes real skill and what businesses are paying for is training that assistant properly. You need to feed it the business's real information, their services, their prices, their most common questions, how they want leads to be handled. That training is the actual product that you are delivering. And once you have built one for, say, a plumber, you can reuse about 80% of it for an electrician, for a locksmith, a cleaning company. The structure is the same. You just update the knowledge base. The difficulty level for this one is easy. Great first option if you want to land a client quickly. The next idea is a step up, but it also is where you can work with slightly bigger businesses and solve more expensive problems. An AI automation agency means that you go into a business, find the tasks that are eating their time, the manual data entry, the copy-pasting between tools, the follow-up emails that nobody's sending, and you build systems that handle those automatically. To start with, you will do an audit for your client. So you sit down with a business owner or you get on a call and you ask them very specific questions. What do your employees do every single day that wastes the most time? What is the first thing that, if it happened automatically, would change your week? Those answers will tell you exactly what to build. Most of the time, what they need is not complicated. It is connecting tools that already exist, their CRM, their calendar, their email, and making them talk to each other. Zapier and Make are the main tools for this, and both have free tiers to learn on. What makes this model strong is that once you solve one problem for a client, they trust you with the next one. One project turns into a long-term relationship. You do not need to be a developer here. AI tools will write the logic for you if you know how to explain the problem clearly. That is your skill here, understanding the business problem well enough to describe it. The difficulty level for this business idea is medium. It's a good fit for you if you enjoy problem solving and working with business systems. The next business idea, it sounds more serious, and it is. But that is also exactly why it pays well. Bigger clients, bigger budgets. Here is what's happening. Companies are using AI tools inside their businesses right now, on top of customer data, employee data, financial data, and in many places, the laws around this are either already here or coming very fast. The European Union AI Act is a real example of this. Companies need to understand what rules apply to them, whether their use of AI creates any legal risk, and how to document what they're doing. Most business owners do not have time to follow all of this, and honestly, most of them find it confusing. That's where you can help them. Your job is to become the person who stays on top of these regulations, understands what they mean in practical terms, and helps companies build simple policies and processes to stay compliant. This is a high learning curve at the start. You need to study the relevant laws and guidelines seriously. But the audience for this are larger companies, healthcare, finance, or any business really that's handling sensitive data and has the budget to pay for this kind of help. And they are not buying something that's nice to have. They are avoiding a legal problem. Difficulty is hard here. But if you enjoy research and working with larger organizations, this is a strong long-term business. Now, if you are building any of these businesses and you start working with clients in different countries, one thing that becomes a real headache fast is getting paid internationally and managing money across currencies. I partnered with Airwallex in this part of the video because it can give you a business account built for exactly this situation. You can open local currency accounts in over 20 currencies, which means you can receive payments from clients abroad in their own currency and avoid a lot of unnecessary conversions and fees. Same currency transfers to over 150 countries are free via Airwallex's local rails. 90% of them arrive within the same day, if not instantly. If you do need currency conversion, you only pay 0.5% based on interbank rates. So you're not getting hit with the typical FX markup fees that traditional banks charge. Everything is managed in one place. No juggling multiple accounts or providers. Whether you're collecting payments from your customers, or holding different currencies, or paying clients and contractors across borders, Airwallex lets you do it all from one place. If you're running an international business or planning to, it is worth looking at. And because this is a video about AI business, it's also worth saying that Airwallex bakes AI into its own platform to automate things like receipt capture, bill data entry, and expense approvals. So your finances run on autopilot in the background. Check the link to Airwallex in the description to create your business account. Going back to our business ideas, the next one is close to my own world, so I want to be specific about why it works. A lot of bloggers, coaches, and online business owners know that they should be on Pinterest or investing in SEO, search engine optimization, but they either do not understand the strategy behind it or they do not have the time to execute it consistently. That gap is your opportunity. What you're selling here is a system. You use AI to help research keywords, create optimized pin descriptions, write blog content that is structured for search, and build a publishing schedule that the client can actually keep up with. The reason this is still a strong business in 2026 is that AI search, the kind that you see in ChatGPT or Perplexity, it pulls content from sources that they already have authority and trust. That means SEO and content strategy are not dying. They're more important than they were before because you now need to be the trusted source that AI recommends. You do not need to be a developer for this business. You need to understand how Pinterest and search actually work and then use AI to do the execution faster. That knowledge is what you're selling, not just the content itself. This is a great fit if you already have a background in blogging, content, or digital marketing. And the difficulty level here is easy to start, in my opinion. Now, the next one. Every business that answers phone calls has the same problem. Calls come in when nobody's available. Staff waste time on basic questions that are always the same. After hours inquiries go unanswered. Voice AI has reached a point now where it sounds natural enough that most people cannot tell that they're talking to an automated system. That makes this a real solution for real businesses, not just a demo. What you build is an AI phone system that handles incoming calls, answers common questions, collects information from callers, and either books appointments or passes the call to a real person when it's needed. Businesses like medical offices, law firms, trade companies, anyone with high call volume are very open to this. A smart way to start is to start small. Offer a basic version first, something that filters spam calls and captures messages from real customers. That's low risk for the client, easy for you to deliver, and it proves that the technology works. From there, you can expand into a full call handling. The tools exist for this without writing code. Your value is understanding what the business needs from their phone system and setting it up to match that. The difficulty for this business is medium. It's a strong option if you want to work with local service businesses. The next business idea is different from the others because instead of selling a service, you are building a small product. The idea is simple. You pick one specific type of business: dentists, real estate agents, boutique gyms, insurance brokers, and you build one small tool that solves one specific problem that they all have. Not a full platform, not the next big software company, just one useful thing that saves them time or helps them get more clients. Examples of that could be something like, first, it could be a tool that helps dental practices reduce no-shows, that automatically confirms appointments and fuels cancellations from a wait list. Or a review request tool for local businesses that sends a message at exactly the right moment to their clients. Or a lead follow-up system for real estate agents that responds to new inquiries within, say, 60 seconds. The reason this model is powerful is because you build it once and then you can sell it to many clients. Every dentist with the same problem is your potential customer. You're not starting from scratch every time. And AI coding tools like Claude or Lovable will help you build a working version of something like this without a computer science degree. You may need a developer for some parts of it, but the product thinking and the niche knowledge, that is what you bring to the table. The difficulty here is medium. This best fits people who want to build something that they own instead of offering a service. The next one is probably the least talked about on this list. And I think that makes it a good opportunity right now. Most businesses, especially the growing ones, have a real problem with internal knowledge. The answers to common questions live in someone's head, or they're buried in an old email, or they're spread across 5 different Google Docs that nobody can find. New employees take weeks to get up to speed. Customer support answers the same questions over and over. Nothing is organized. What you build for them is a searchable, AI-powered knowledge base. You take everything that they already have, their documents, their frequently asked questions, their training materials, their processes, and then you turn it into a single system that anyone on the team can ask questions to and get accurate answers from. This is easy to set up with the right tools. Notion, Guru, and several others will make it possible without technical skills. The work that you're really doing here is the organizing, taking scattered information and structuring it properly. That is the part where businesses struggle, and they don't have the time for this. And once it is built, they will pay you to maintain it and update it as the business grows. It becomes something that they rely on. Difficulty here is easy. It's a great option if you're organized and good at taking complex information and making it simple. So those are the 7 AI business ideas that are working in 2026, ranging from easy to hard, from services to products, from local businesses to large companies. Look at this list and ask yourself which problem you actually want to spend time on and which type of client you want to work with. That answer will tell you where to start. If you want me to go deeper on any of this, the tools, the pricing, how to find your first client, let me know in the comments below which one you're most interested in. And if you find this useful, then like and subscribe because it helps me know what kind of videos to make more in the future. Meanwhile, you can check my video where I share how I built a system that allows me to run a business as a solopreneur and work only between 4 and 5 hours per day. Check the video up there, and I'll see you in the next one.